The Institute for Diversification and Saving of Energy is a government agency affiliated with the Spanish Ministry of Industry, Energy and Tourism. It's focused on enhancing energy efficiency and driving the adoption of renewable energy and low-carbon technologies. IDAE's pioneering efforts have cemented Spain's position as a global leader in wind energy advancement. Through their visionary strides, Spain towards a greener, more sustainable future. Today, we are honored to have Mr. Víctor Morell, the Director for Renewable Energy and the Electricity Market at IDAE, join us. Mr. Víctor will share Spain's extensive experience and remarkable achievements in the renewable energy sector, providing invaluable insights for the development of offshore wind energy in Japan. I'm Kayla, representing the organizing committee of Japan Wind Energy 2023, and it's with great pleasure that I extend a warm welcome to Mr. Víctor. Hi, Mr. Víctor. The floor is open for you right now.
Thank you. Morning. Thanks for having us here. It's a real pleasure to be here and to tell you a little bit of what we have done and what we are doing, talking about renewable energy and especially focus on wind and offshore wind. I'm sharing my screen in order to present something. I think you can see it well.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and it's energy sector and offshore wind planning in Spain. First of all, a few words about what's IDAE. IDAE, as you were telling, Kyla, thanks. It's the Institute for Diversification and Energy Saving. We are a public entity. When I'm abroad, I usually say that we are the Renewable Energy Agency. So we belong to a ministry, but we are a separate body. The IDAE was created 48 years ago in the 1973 oil crisis. The name was not the same, and the actual name, the current name, was given in 1986. I've been working here for the last 3 years. And what we do is we give support to the Ministry for the Ecological Transition and Demographic Challenge, which is the ministry we belong to. Recovery and Resilience Facility, which are the funds coming from the European Union in order to recover from the COVID-19 crisis. And it's also related with Repower EU activities, which aims to reduce the energy dependence from abroad. There's much more things that we do: National Energy Efficiency Fund, international cooperation. It's really amazing to work for an institution such as IDAE. Sorry. This is the how we are organized. My direction is that one on the right-hand side of the slide: Dirección de Energías Renovables y Mercado Eléctrico, Renewable Energy and Electricity Market. And I've got 7 departments inside, different technologies, including renewable hydrogen and wind and marine energy too. We've got some more detail on different on the different parts of the house. Our president is the Secretary of State of Energy inside the ministry. These are some of the examples of planning documents that we've been involved into. Decarbonizing strategy long term, the National Energy and Climate Plan. It's been updated recently. You can see it up on the right, and then you can see on the bottom of the slide 4 different strategies, and the one we will talk a little bit more about it is the one on wind power and marine energy. But we've got storage, we've got self-consumption, we've got hydrogen, we've got biogas, which is not here, and some other plans from the past, 2011, 2020. Yeah, we've been working on planning a lot of times. These are some other things that we do. We call it guides there are publications in order to promote technology. Currently, the most interesting ones for the public are the ones related with self-consumption. So yeah, that's an important thing. Let's continue. Yeah, some insights on the energy realities and planning. Some context, energy investment source, Bloomberg New Energy Finance, how the investments on energy transition by sector has been increasing in the last 20 years. You can see that electrified transport is increasing in the last years, electrified heat, renewable energy, it's been increasing, but more constant maybe other technology, and we will see other technologies in the following years. But it's an interesting sector for investments and investors to invest in. Here you can see how the revenues return to investors in the global markets are above the fossil fuel ones. In green, you can see renewable power, and red fossil fuel, and you can see how it's increasing in the last years, coming from a report from the International Energy Agency. These are some of the things that I've talked a little bit about it. This Repower EU aims to reduce the fossil fuels, especially gas and oil imports from Russia, but in general, and replace them with domestic energy sources. It's very important to not to be independent, because we live in the world, but to decrease the energy dependence, and it's something that Japan can you know that it's a very important thing. What we've got in Europe, in Spain, we do not have a lot of fossil fuels. Norway and the North Sea, Scotland, they are not now in the European Union, but they remain in the European continent. But you can see here a map of solar electricity potential. You can see in the south, of course, there are more potential. In the north, there are more wind potential, at least in the sea. But it's not only the offshore wind, not only about wind resource, but also about the depth of the basin, that in the Baltic Sea and the North Sea, it's not that deep as it is in the Iberian Peninsula, for example. And I think Japan, we will see a map in the following slides. Japan has got a similar problem. These are the 10 portfolios European Union reliance on Russian natural gas. I've give some hints about it, so I will try to speak fast in order to give some time for questions. These are the planning for 2050. The line you can see decreasing are the emissions, and you can see in 2015, 2030, and 2050 how the main figures. Sorry about the Spanish, but I do not have this slide in English. This planning has been updated, and now we aim to have, instead of 23% of renewable energy over the total energy consumption, now we plan to have 32% of renewable energy. And in the electricity sector, we plan to have 74% of electricity coming from renewable sources. Now, with the updating of the National Energy and Climate Plan, we plan to have more than 80%. Now we've got around 50% in 2023. Next slide. Here, these figures are outdated, but you can see how planning is going. From 20% to 42%. Yeah, wind, if we talk about wind, and yeah, it's 50 gigawatts additional by 2050. New, not additional in total. Now we've got around 30 gigawatts, so 20 more, but in the new planning, it's about 30 more in the next year. So it's amazing planning and the challenge we've got ahead. This is the distribution of the budget of the national plan recovery and resilience facility coming from resources from the European Union. You can see here the logo, financed by the European Union, Next Generation EU. And here we've got 40% of the funds were and are related with the energy transition, and almost 30% with digitalization, which are two main focus of our energy planning. Here we've got some figures of current the reality of the power sector. This is energy coming from different technologies. These ones are just renewable. You can see in 2021, 2023, 2022, sorry, how the solar, the orange one is increasing each year. Green one, which is wind, was already big, but it's already increasing. And blue one, which is hydro, depends on the range of each year. This is about capacity, comes from APA, which is a Spanish Renewable Energy Association. And you can see in the last years how the power has been increasing a lot, considering the size of our power sector. Last year we installed more than 8 gigawatts of power, solar photovoltaic self-consumption, and the blue one, it's sorry about this. I've got another meeting. Wind power. This is how the market's going. You see here PV, and you can see here the prices of the market, and you can see that we've got this dark curve with zero prices on the mid of the day. This is from April this year, and it's today. It's not a weekday. It's a weekend, but yeah, it's shows us how markets function. Here, how the price of the market in the last 5 years has been. The monitoring of the price, and you can see starting in 2021 with the instability, and then with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, how the prices were really high. Some strengths of Spain, industrial capacities, both in wind power. You can see here whole Europe and Spain, there are some capacities, interesting ones, and we can build. We've got the capacity to build one windmill completely in Spain. It's not the reality because the companies work in different countries, but in Spain we've got the capacities to do it. And here, solar PV, we've got 60% of the solar PV value chain. So some figures about the installed capacity. This is installed capacity last year. We can see here Spain. And if we talk about renewable energy, Spain is the 7th country for cumulative capacity. This is about PV, and Japan, we can see it's quite above Spain with 84, almost 85 gigawatts. This is more details on last year. Spain, it's 8th country. It depends on the ranking and on the year. We see, talking about wind power, we are the 5th country in the world with installed capacity. Mainly it's onshore, because offshore we will see later on, we've got the same problem as Japan, which is related with the depth of the oceans. Spain, with RICA index coming from EY, we are the 8th market in the world, talking about attractiveness for investors, and the first one talking about PPAs, power purchase agreements. This is press talking about the recovery plans is among one of the experts from Euractiv. Offshore wind, okay. Planning roadmap, you can see different planning strategies, NECP, I've talked about it, long-term decarbonization strategy, then recovery and resilience facility plan, renewable actions, which are the actions for renewable capacity, law, the climate change bill, Fund for Sustainability. And here we've got some strategies with more detail, and you can find here roadmap for offshore wind and marine energy. This is how the strategy deal with the other environment of planning. Here we've got how we deal with the recovery and resilience facility, because this this planning, it's part of the recovery and resilience facility, and we've got some targets agreed with the European Commission. These are the main opportunities of renewables in Spain, of offshore wind, offshore renewables in general, energy potential leadership in industrial value chain. In currently, Spanish companies are in the lead of the offshore wind sector in Europe, at least. We've got companies building the jackets, we've got companies building the windmills, and we've got companies developing projects. So we know what to do. The challenge in Spain is the technology, and the technology has to be floating, which is a bit more expensive, as you probably know. What we need to develop a sector such as offshore wind, we need maritime spatial planning. We already have business model, which we can build it using auctions, and the grid access and connection, which is deregulation. We need to put these strings on place, and we are lacking still to develop the current and updating of the regulation, talking about grid access and connection, and the one which will make the business model profitable for investors. Here you've got the depth of the ocean. You can see in the Baltic and the North Sea, which the areas are more suitable for bottom fixed technology, and Spain, Iberian Peninsula, and some other parts, most other parts of Europe, maybe the Adriatic Sea. We have to do floating. We've got here in the world, as I was mentioned, in Japan and Spain, we've got deep sea, so we need to do floating. At least in Spain, I don't know, in the Japan reality. Main message of the offshore wind, we've got 200 millions, which finally were 240 millions of grants. Now we are on the way to give the award for the technology. We've received very interesting projects, and hopefully we will have it solved by September. What we would like to do, baking and strengthening the value chain for infrastructure, which we will introduce it in the Repower EU activities. Some more planning, as I was talking about it, deployment framework, we need coordination, we need the administrative framework, and we need cross-cutting instruments. This matter is really, really relevant, social and environmental sustainability, because the social acceptance of the projects is becoming hot topic in Spain, and I think in the whole world, that you need to involve the local communities in order to they do not oppose frontally to the development of the projects, and it's something that we need to do with marine sectors. In Spain, we've got, as in Japan, a very powerful fishing sector, and it's someone that we are already talking with, but there's a lot of more conversations that it's going to happen, and it's of the highest relevance. Not only that sector, also biodiversity and marine transportation, for example. Defense and military activities are a sector also important in the sea. Some more details, the governance, cross-sectoral cooperation assessment, updating this offshore wind and marine energy roadmap will be updated by 2025, 23 measures in 4 blocks. I'm going fast. This is the target between 1 and 3 gigawatts of offshore wind energy, and marine energy, which is less developed, between 40 and 60 megawatts. Okay, and here you can see, this is the last slide. Here you can see how is the layout of a project that starts and finally ends up in the sea. Thanks a lot. I'm happy to answer your questions in case there are some, and thanks again for having me here.
Thanks, Mr. Victor. Thank you very much for your very informative presentation. And as we all know, Spain has set ambitious targets for achieving net zero emissions. How does the wind power sector contribute to this long-term goal? Are there any specific challenges that need to be addressed?
Yeah, the wind sector, it's contributing right now. We are the 5th country in the world, as I was telling you in the presentation, talking about installed capacity. We've got 30 gigawatts onshore wind, and it's the main source of energy in the power sector. So the wind sector has contributed, and it's contributing each year a lot, and each year is contributing more because we're installing more capacity, as I was telling you in the presentation. The challenges we are facing, as I was telling at the last part of the presentation, I think the social aspects of the installation of these facilities are the most important ones. Also, red tape is important too, but the social license, we call it in this way sometimes, it's very relevant. You need to involve the local communities, either if you are in onshore or offshore. You need to involve with the local communities. Spain also has a very strong tourism sector, not only the fishing one, which is really strong, and they are concerned about the development of the offshore facilities. So you need to talk with them. You need them to participate in the projects. I'm talking about companies. I belong to the public administration, but we need to promote these good practices among the private sector. Yeah, in order to have a successful project, you will need to involve the local communities and get their acceptance. So I will say this will be one of the main challenges during this decade until 2030.
Yeah, thanks. And as Japan is also looking to enhance its wind power sector based on Spain's experience and achievements, what insights or lessons can you share that would be valuable for Japan's renewable energy transition, and especially in the development of offshore wind energy?
Yeah, there are some lessons. First one is about social acceptance, and I know the Japan society is caring, and they love nature. These activities, they've got impacts. You will see the windmills, you will see the solar PV, as you probably are seeing, because you've got 85 gigawatts installed. And you have to be open to the society and tell them what's you're going to do and what's going to happen, and why you need to do that. And in a country like Japan and in Spain, we've got some similar conditions. We depend, our energy dependence, it's about between 75 and 80%. We are one of the countries in the European Union with the highest exterior dependence in the energy sector. And Japan is something similar. I don't know the figure, but you're highly dependent on the exterior. And this is one really powerful tool to reduce this dependence, and the dependence nowadays in the current world, it's the same as talk about security. So yeah, I think this would be one of the main lessons. The other one may be that you have to make this project profitable. Wind power is already profitable, and the companies are interested in developing wind projects. but you need to give certainty, talking about regulation, and talking about earnings, or at least some
Yes,
kind of
thanks.
predictability. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. And in terms of policy and the regulatory frameworks, what measures have been implemented in Spain to support the growth of wind power sector?
Yeah, main measures in Spain in the last years, because the wind power sector has been developing in Spain for 25 years, are the ones related with predictability of the earnings of the projects. Now that we've got relevant installed capacity, it's that we face different challenges in the last years, in the last 5 years mainly. We are facing different problems, some local opposition to projects, sometimes really strong, and you have to deal with it, and you have to convince the society and the local society, and you have to involve them, and you have to make them see what's for them. That's a common question. What I gonna get? So yeah, that's very important to visualize these incentives, not just for the companies, but also for the local communities. I would say this earnings predictability. But nowadays you have to deal with the social aspect too. So yeah, you have to deal with it there in Japan too.
Yeah, thanks. And lastly, looking ahead, what do you say as the key opportunities and the challenges for the wind power sector in Spain and global? How can they be implemented to ensure continued growth and sustainability?
Yeah, I think this we are living in a global warming effect. We need to reduce our consumption of fossil fuels in order to reduce our CO2 and GHG gas emissions to the atmosphere. And this is very, very important to do. So wind power, it's you can trust wind power. It's a trusted technology, and it can play a significant role on this decarbonization process. Also, it's giving cheap electricity, so you can also benefit from that, because companies can sign power purchase agreements, or they can build their own wind farms for self-consumption. Depends on where they are placed. And yeah, that's another source of opportunities and profitability for the local economy, because companies can install what there are more resources, so they can get cheaper electricity, so they can reduce the price of their products, and they can maybe change the current location to other locations more profitable for the local community. So this is something that you need to put in the balance, and in order to convince these local communities that the wind power it's an opportunity. So yeah, I would say so.
Thank you, Mr. Victor. We sincerely appreciate it for sharing valuable insights and that will contribute to offshore wind energy development in Japan. And I think this is all for today's interview. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you. Thanks for letting us being part of. And
Mr. Victor, today's recording I will be shared with you next week, and I will update on our website and YouTube. I will send you the link next week.
Okay, and I will look forward to it. Thanks. Kyla, nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.